Greg McIntyre with McIntyre Elder Law, helping seniors protect their assets and legacies. And I'm here today with an interview, okay? I love interviewing people who have services that are valuable to seniors and their families. And so I'm here today with Colette Ross. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, and she's with Timeless Collage and Estate Services, LLC. And guess what that is? I don't know. You tell us. What is Timeless Collage and Estate Services, LLC?
Timeless Collage and Estate Services LLC is an estate liquidation and estate services company. We serve clients in Charlotte and surrounding areas, like you mentioned, in order to assist them with organization and preparation for moving out, selling, or cleaning out their personal property.
Understood. Okay. That was very good. You said that a couple of times.
Just a couple.
Yes. So all right. So moving out, selling. So it could be helping people move out before someone passed away. Is that right?
Sometimes that does occur. If indeed and a family is in need of downsizing services and assistance with that process. For example, if somebody later in life is moving into assisted living, we help with dissolving the personal property within the home prior to their move to assisted living to alleviate the burden later.
Does that include auction services, things like that?
We do not auction, although we do have associates that do if indeed the estate warrants auctioning.
Right.
But we perform on-site tag sales.
On-site sales.
That's right.
Okay. So estate sales.
That's right.
Right. And you're serving Charlotte and the surrounding areas, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so I see situations or hear of situations all the time, and I think it's sad, and I'm not sure why it occurs, but hoarding. Have you run across things like that?
Well, the generation that is in the latter part of their life today is a result of the Depression era, and those folks tend to have not thrown anything away.
Right.
So hoarding in itself, yes, lo and behold, is actually a psychological illness that people suffer. And yeah, it does happen. And there are folks who have an overabundance of items. Sometimes they don't even know what they have. And the families are so overwhelmed that they just don't know where to turn.
Really?
Absolutely.
I mean, I have met with clients who talked about family members who just have gotten into hoarding behavior. And that is, a psychological illness that comes about. Or I think and plus I think people get overwhelmed over time sometimes, and just need someone to go in and make sure everything's cleaned out and organized. And sometimes the valuable items set aside so that they can be sold. And that could be when someone is going into care.
Absolutely.
Like nursing home or assisted living care.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Or it could be after someone passes away. Having to do with an estate.
Sure. At which point a family member, the heirs or primary who's responsible will call on us to ask for us to help with that process. Being a third party and not having the emotional involvement that families do with the attachment to memories of items in their homes allows for us to be able to help to expedite the process.
Impartial, right?
Right.
Yeah, you're going to make...
Still with compassion,
right.
But on a level where we can sort quickly.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So you can get the job done.
That's right.
I just think that's got to be hard, either working with the individual or the family, or just that's a hard job all the way around. And I admire what you do.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So what are some things that we need to know about estate planning services, about estate sales, or the clean out services that we provide? What do you think?
Initially, in regards to estate planning, the keyword planning in advance and having conversations with families, educating them and letting them know that these services are available for them so that they can plan for the right professional to be on their side in advance, make decisions about property and what they choose to do with it. If there are family heirlooms that they're going to choose to allocate amongst their family members, do that in advance. And
how do you set those things aside? I mean, you're going in someone's home and being asked to separate their things, and are you working with the family closely to say, look, cousin Mark wants this, daughter wants this, son wants this, and this is for the sale, or is there a lot of that? I mean, how does that work?
There is a lot of it, but we ask for the families to manage that prior to our services coming about. So we have those conversations and say, we prefer that you call on us when you're ready. Take your time, make sure you're ready, divide your property. And then when you know that only the items that are available for resale or disposal are on the property, it's time for us to come in and assist and give them ample time to get through allocating in the attachment, or even going through a will and seeing to it that each member has retrieved the items that were left for them or that their family desired for them to have.
Sure.
And then following them getting through that process is when we would come in and finish by organizing the estate for resale.
So the will actually helps you
Absolutely.
in dividing up the property.
Absolutely.
Right. Even in the home, right?
It helps families, absolutely. If I were to judge the families who have had a written will and have had that advanced planning versus not, I'd say that the peace of mind that's offered to families who have planned in advance is absolutely crucial and alleviates so much stress.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. We also have on the show today Brenton S. Begley, B.S. Begley, law attorney, JD and LLM in tax. Great attorney.
All sorts of initials.
All sorts of initials. I like to make up what those initials stand for behind people's names. Right?
Yeah.
I was doing that the other day when I was looking at different people's cards. How about that? But
yeah, all the initials beside my name just mean I owe a lot in student loans. That's all that means.
That's correct. That's the more initials by your name, the more student debt you have.
That's right.
A good point. So she mentioned, Colette mentioned, Miss Ross mentioned, wills and how those help a family. I wondered if you might speak to that as far as how wills can help a family, the importance of pre-planning. Also comes to mind that a personal property memorandum attached to the will with directions for the executor to follow the wishes of that are written in the attached personal property memorandum. That comes to mind here and can be so helpful in that situation. I wonder if you could speak to that.
Right. So probate, the process by which a decedent, person who's passed away, their estate gets distributed, right? You need to have some guide there. Without a guide, I mean, it's very, very difficult to determine who gets what, especially when you have all these little pieces of personal property, right? So when you have a will, you want it to direct where your assets are going to go, but that can be hard to just type into a will. It can be hard to sit down with an attorney for hours and inventory every little asset that you have, right?
And then you forgot something, so you have to come back in, and then you sell something, and then you acquire something else, and you have to switch it out. So
exactly, and so what you need to have is some ease in that process. Okay, so what you need to have is what we provide, for example, is a personal property memorandum along with the will, so you can write in that personal property to go to whoever you want to go to. It's literally a worksheet along with the will. So if you acquire property later on, if you have certain, knickknacks or certain heirlooms, or, maybe something you just want to leave to a certain person that you haven't yet named in the will, you can just write that in. It's very easy. You describe the property and you just, write it in there and you say who you want to go to. It's very
put the page number at the bottom of the page.
That's right.
And then you sign each page, and
exactly.
we provide several pages.
It's incorporated too by reference in the will. So the will references that personal property memorandum. So it's a part of the will, just like any other page in the will.
Agreed. Yeah, that's phenomenal. So Brenton, do you think that do you have any questions of Ms. Ross? And how do you see her services fitting with what we do and clients of ours and just seniors and their families in general?
I think a huge thing that you provide is the cleaning service. I mean, that's amazing. Can you speak to the extent of what you guys are willing to clean? Because that's one concern that I know. I mean, because at some point you're going to have maybe a professional, carpet cleaning service or something like that come in if it's a hazardous, situation. But can you speak to the extent of what you guys do as far as the cleaning?
If indeed there are additional services needed, like carpet cleaning, or if there is hazardous waste that our team should not be exposed to, then we would help to call on resources in order to do that. But in regards to the extent of cleaning, our service is completely turnkey from start to finish. It could be heaps of thousands in attics, garages, or outbuildings. And come completion of our service, generally within 7 to 10 days, the home will be cleared and cleaned and ready for a real estate walkthrough.
That's excellent. So you're talking about, in an estate, having a home clean and ready to sell within 7 to 10 days.
That's right. That's
and
right.
who do you need to talk to be hired? Who hires you? I mean, it's the executor of the estate or administrator of the estate, right?
Whomever is the primary. It might be, for example, if the owner has downsized or moved to that assisted living facility and they are still of sound mind, they have the ability to call on us and ask for our service. We would then offer that consultation at their property and see to it that we find solutions for whatever it is that they need. If we're able to conduct a personal property sale, that is always option one. Our goal is to try to regain the revenue from the investment that they've made throughout the years. So their accumulation of things, we do our best to regain some of the revenue of their investment to try to bring it back to the estate because their personal property may be very abundant. If indeed that's not an option, we would discuss the option of the clean out services to see to it that ultimately their goal of selling the real estate can be met.
You mentioned something about, if a client were to move to an assisted living and need to hire you, they might not be able to because they might be, incompetent, right?
That's right.
So in that situation, Greg, I mean, we've seen that type of situation a lot.
Yeah. So how do you get past the part where you're functioning as someone else? Can a family member? Could I as a son do that for my mother or a daughter? Could a daughter do that for her parent and hire estate cleaning and planning services, in estate sales services for mom while mom's alive? If someone was incompetent, how would they do that, Brent?
Right. So I think what Ms. Ross would look for is, are you the power of attorney?
That's exactly.
Do you have, right. Do you have the authority to sign off on our services?
And what kind of power of attorney, Brent?
That would be what we call on the street financial power of attorney. That's a general durable power of attorney, right? And that durable part is going to be very important because that means that the power of attorney survives incompetency, incapacity, or otherwise inability to act for whatever.
Mental disability or lapse of time. That's right.
That's right.
So yeah, and as opposed to a healthcare power of attorney, which gives someone the ability to make healthcare decisions, this would require that financial power of attorney, that general durable power of attorney that survives incompetency. You'd want to make sure that's recorded at the Register of Deeds as well. So that's very important. All things that you can benefit from those type of estate planning services to make sure you're ready by seeing someone, a professional like an attorney at McIntyre Elder Law. So thank you very much for being here. If someone wants to get in touch with you, how do they do that? I know I have one of her cards here. It's a very nice card. How would people get in touch with you? What is your website address?
Sure. Our website address is timelesscollage.com. There is a link on our website on the last page where they can send notification of requesting services.
Is that the contact form?
Yes, exactly. On
the contact form. Look, they can contact you right there.
That's right. Or reach us by either of those phone numbers that are listed.
Right, which are 252-268-9764, right?
Yes.
I'm just going to put that one out, okay?
Yep.
So that's phenomenal. You can learn more about that company there, a little about us, about Timeless Collage and Estate Services, LLC, and what clients are saying. There's some client, certainly testimonials there. as well as more about your business. And you can even find out what kind of upcoming or where upcoming sales are going to be, right?
That's
so you
right.
can look at where upcoming sales are going to be if you want to take part in a sale or come to a sale. Is that right?
That's right.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Well, I wanted to say thank you so much for being here today and being on the Elder Law Report.
Thank you.
Right? And I appreciate it. Anything that we can do to help you, you let me know. Okay.
Thank you. Absolutely.
And I'm going to look forward to working with you in the future.
Likewise.
You. Absolutely. Thank you, Britton, for being here today.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Bye now.
Bye.
And I would close out by saying, if you want to talk about estate planning services as well, general durable powers of attorney, the financial power of attorney, or talk about getting your wills in place, your estate planning documents in place, you can reach us by calling 704-749-9244 or going to mcelderlaw.com. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye, Brent.
Bye.